not almost there.
Hey guys, welcome to the Massive Iron Channel. I'm Steve Shaw. In this video, I'm going to talk about 5 things wrong with modern muscle building. Before I get into this topic, if you have any questions or comments, drop them down below. The best topic ideas I turn into videos just like this. If you want coaching, check out the link down below. I'm not a check-in once a week type of coach. I'm with you every single day. All right, so I'm going to share some opinions and thoughts about modern bodybuilding. I don't have a script. I have 5 general thoughts, and I hope these will help you in your journey. I hope for those of you that are serious about muscle and strength building, that these 5 concepts or ideas or talking points will help you as you move forward along your journey, because I've been doing this a long time, obviously. I started lifting in 1986, and I'm not going to sit here on a high horse and say things were better, things were different. I only had access to a couple muscle magazines, 1 book on muscle building, and a lot of it was just piecing things together by what was happening in the gym. You had to be more focused on the art, obviously, than the science. So let me dive into things and let me know what you guys think. Drop a comment on these down below. Number 1, the first thing I want to talk about is that we've kind of lost the passion and art of muscle and strength building. We try to formalize everything. We try to turn everything into a puzzle or a problem to solve. And we spend so much time trying to piece together perfection and structure and all these kind of things that it's almost to the point where you rarely see anybody going to the gym and just attack with passion. There's almost like when you enter the gym, you're almost like chained, right? It's almost like you don't have freedom to play or explore or attack or unleash that passion. You have to play by a certain set of rules. And there are good rules, obviously. There are good rules and reasonable rules. But in so many ways, when I look at the average trainee in this day and age, they just seem kind of chained down. They seem kind of restricted. They seem kind of, oppressed in a sense, where everything is like they have this burden of formula and structure and science and all these hundreds and hundreds of influencers and voices and articles and theories and rules to play by. So much to place on the back of a beginner. And in my day, I didn't have all that stuff. We had to kind of piece together something reasonable from common sense and from what was going on in the gym. And I think in many ways, we've lost the passion. We've lost a lot of the important parts of passion and art that can really, really drive progress. And we need to get a little bit of that passion and art back, that freedom to play and try new things and just go crazy at times in the gym and break all the fucking rules, right? All right, number 2, role model fatigue. So back in my day, we had our little Joe Weider bodybuilding book in our muscle magazines, right? Flex and Muscle and Fitness. And if I was lucky, I would have an Ironman magazine at the newsstand. And we had our role models, and they were pictures and books. And we had workouts presented and advice on nutrition. And we didn't think about all this stuff. We didn't have all the influencer stuff. We didn't have all the drug stuff. Right? We just had guys in iron and gyms doing things, right? And there wasn't a level of fatigue. There was kind of a level of excitement. You wouldn't wake up every day and have to carry all this influencer fatigue or this role model fatigue, about what drama is this influencer making today and what video did that influencer make that confused me today? There's so many confusing messages and so much drama and so much fakeness and phoniness and posing. Back in my day, being a poser was not a good thing, right? It was a fake, a phony. But so many people get away with it in this day and age. And there's a lot of role model fatigue, just so much bullshit in the fitness industry. You sometimes you don't know who to trust. You can trust somebody and then they put out a really weird article or video and it throws you off. Then you have all the fakeness of the fake natties and, guys walking around saying they're natty that are bigger than Arnold. And there can be a lot of fatigue that can kind of be a burden in the modern muscle building world. And, when you do find somebody legit, when you do find somebody that has really good, legit standards and somebody that is a quality role model, it can almost feel like they're at such a next level, that it's hard to achieve. I didn't have that in my day. It was just like going to the gym. Let's do it. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. We're gonna look like Arnold. We're gonna look like Tom Platz, and call us naive. And yes, we were naive, but we didn't have the burdens you guys have. We didn't have the role model fatigue. And in a lot of ways, that can be very, very oppressive. It can be super oppressive. So just want to encourage you guys to maybe consider narrowing the information tunnel that you focus on. Just find those 3 or 4. That's what I do. I have 3 or 4 or 5 guys, and there's a lot of good guys out there if you dig. But I like to keep my information tunnel narrow. That way I can focus on, people that are on the same track. I can keep my focus. I don't have to worry about drama or all the madness that's going on in this industry. And by keeping a more narrow focus on people that are reasonable, I would argue that it allows you to reduce some of that fatigue and focus yourself on your goals a little bit better. All right, point number 3, 95, and you're talking to someone that has spent a lot of his life on internet forums way back in the day, in the early to mid 2000s when bodybuilding.com first had Body Space. And then I started a forum called Muscle and Brawn that was, in its day, it would compete with bodybuilding.com for the forum of the year on some different websites, even on Powerlifting Watch. So I spent a lot of time on forums. So tons and tons of times in forums and groups and forums on Muscle and Brawn, and then Muscle and Strength, and then Tiger Fitness, and I'll Pump You Up. And now I have my own Discord group, and just with YouTube comments and social media comments. Here's the thing. I'm rambling a bit, but I've had a lot of time on here. And what I've realized, I had a lot of time in communities and forums. And what I've realized over the last 15 to 17 years is that 95% of the discussions on muscle building are absolutely a waste of time. They're talking about the 5%, right? Most of the debates and the discussions, 95% of them are worrying about the 5%. And the problem is 95% of you aren't to the point where the 5% matters. So we're wasting so much of our time and energy debating things that don't matter for you or will not matter for a very, very long time. You need to focus, instead of focusing on the simple and basic things, the things that work, right? We're shoveling frustrated lifters with so much shit, so many principles, so many concepts, things that just don't matter for them because their tires are spinning in the mud, right? Your tires might be spinning in the mud. You just need to get out of that mud. You need like a little bit of a tow, right? A little bit of a pull with reasonable advice. And then everybody in the background around you is, presenting concepts that really don't matter for you. That's been the heart and soul of my passion over the years, is trying to pull you guys out of the mud, telling you guys not to worry about things like frequency, not to over worry about rep ranges, not to over worry about rest in between sets. Let's focus on the big thing. So just know that 95% of the discussions you see on social media forums or whatever are just on 5% that the 5% probably doesn't matter for you right now. All right, point number 3. Let's move along. Progression has replaced hard sets. What do I mean? Okay, so in my era, I was surrounded not by talk of progression necessarily, but it was a focus on hard sets, hard work. Even guys you might disagree with or practices you might not agree with, like high-intensity training or Dorian Yates-style training or whatever. in my era, we had guys that were giving it in the gym. It was a hard work mindset. It was, how much can I get out of this set, right? If I told you, I'm going to give you one set of leg extensions, hear me out, and I want you to get everything out of that set you can. And if you do, I'm going to give you $1 million, right? I want you to push beyond failure. I want you to do rest pause. Then I want you to do a drop set. Then I want you to do a superset. I want you to get every fucking thing out of that set you can. I want to look at the video of that set and just have my mind blown and go, what the fuck am I watching? This is insane. This guy is giving it, right? So I'm not saying in my era everything was like that. That would be a ridiculous statement. And it's not true. But in my era and in the earlier days, a lot more of it was about hard work. And from hard work, progression grew, right? Because you are pushing, you're challenging, you're trying to get more and more and more out of a set, more and more out of a workout. And progression just kind of grew out of that little fertilization patch, right? In this day and age, we're so obsessed with progression that we kind of don't even understand what hard work is. When somebody mentions hard sets, we literally have no idea, what it means. So many people have no idea what it means. And that's not a criticism or a slam at all. But progression has become so mechanical. It's not simply a case of plus ones. One thing I've taught over the years, and one thing I talked about in my book, Massive Iron, was when you go into the gym, if you try to get the most out of every set, you're going to get the most out of every workout. And if you get the most out of every workout, you're going to maximize your progress. That's one of the points in Massive Iron that kind of gets glossed over by many. But that really is the heart and soul of training. Progression should grow from that. It should be trying to push harder, deeper, for more, and progression grows from that. You have control over the weight. You're crushing your sets. It's not simply moving weight as quickly as possible to add plus ones. All right, lastly, and this is this is something I've seen grow more and more and more with the 5x5 era, and I'm not ripping on the 5x5 protocol because any protocol is reasonable, right? Sets and reps. With that said, we kind of swung too far the other way into this cult of barbell world where for a while, the powerlifting world kind of invaded the bodybuilding world and left people with more minimal type of programs that were squat and deadlift centric. And squats and deadlifts are great lifts. But look, as a coach, as a muscle builder, you need to understand these are very technical lifts. And anybody that disagrees with this statement has not coached. Some of you will get them right out of the gate. You'll be very, very lucky to get these lifts and nail your form. And that's great. That's wonderful. Very nice, right? But for the rest of the lifters, they're putting most of their eggs into the squat and deadlift pool, so much of their time and energy, and they're left with less gym time to work on things that are more productive at that point in time. Like it's squats and deadlifts should be worked on in the periphery, right? These are more technical lifts. They require you to work on them. And so to the point where your form is decent enough so you're getting something out of them. But instead of being reasonable, and like I'm going to work on my squats and deadlifts, and in the meantime, I'm going to focus on machines and dumbbells and the barbell exercises that are working and things that are actually, I can get a lot out of it right now. We're placing this burden on beginners and novices. Do this, do this, do this, do this. And they're spending so much time squatting multiple times a week, deadlifting. You see guys that haven't even built a lot of strength doing deficit deadlifts and all these variations of things. And like, whoa. If we want to build muscle, we need to slow down and be a little bit more reasonable. We need to be less cult of barbell. We need to be more common sense in our training. We need to have those big lifts in. But look, guys want to build muscle out of the gate. those of you that are stagnating or frustrated, you want to build muscle now, and you're probably giving a lot to the squat and deadlift. All I was saying is don't give up these lifts. Push them to the 10% where you're working on them, and when you get form down on them, then you can start to increase the intensity that you use them in your workout. But good grief, there's so many other lifts out there to build muscle that we can't use all of our time and energy, so many of our resources on lifts that we're not even efficient at yet. And this is the problem with the cult of barbell era. So guys, hope this video has been of some help. If you have any questions or comments, drop them down below. If you made it this far in this video and have yet to subscribe to my channel, please do. I'd appreciate the support. So guys, as always, thanks for watching. Have a great day.